Minor adjustments is dedicated to preventing and reducing crime. Our primary purpose is to teach men or women how to make the minor adjustments that are necessary in their lives, which will allow them to obtain and maintain a productive lifestyle after incarceration and or rehabilitation. Our motto is anywhere but backwards. Everybody say anywhere but backwards. The words in that mission statement, it says to obtain, and the other one is maintain. Listen to me. To obtain means to come into the possession of something. Maintain means to keep it in existence. Listen. The reason why I say that, everybody say to obtain my sobriety is easy. Our challenge is to maintain it. Say to obtain our sobriety is easy. Our challenge is to maintain it.
To obtain our sobriety is easy. Our challenge is to maintain it. Welcome, everybody, to the Minor Adjustments Virtual Group. My name is Michael Mickey Williams Jr. I am one of the founders of the Minor Adjustments Program. I get excited myself because every time I hear to attain my sobriety is easy, our challenge is to maintain it. I love that is because to obtain something means to come into the possession of something. To maintain something means to keep it in existence. And I love that because for the last 15 years, I obtained my sobriety in August 2009. Since August 2009, all I simply had to do was maintain my sobriety. I didn't have to go get it again. So welcome everybody to the Minor Adjustments Virtual Group. Our motto is on the screen and it's anywhere but backwards. This is something that was given to me by the God of my understanding when I first went into rehabilitation center, and I got the bracelet on now. It says anywhere but backwards. But the only thing that I had going for me at that time when I started in August 2009, the only thing I knew with a surety was that I couldn't go back to the life I used to live. I did not have any idea, right? Any idea that to this day, I am now a certified drug and alcohol counselor. I'm a nationally certified peer recovery coach. I'm a 10-time published author. I had absolutely, positively no idea that that's where my life was headed. The only thing that I knew for sure is that I could not go back to the life I came from. So today, if you don't get anything from watching these lessons, these videos, I want you to make sure you get anywhere but backwards. If anyone want to purchase the workbooks that we use to do these lessons, I'm going to put the link in the comment section, and you can order your own personal workbook. This is our store. You can order a whole bunch of other things in there. You can order the bracelets, you can order the t-shirts, you can order anything. It's up to you. But I'll put the link in there to our Minor Adjustment store because we're going to be going over the workbook. This is the workbook right here. It's called Minor Adjustments Program. This is the workbook we're going to go through today. Those who are in possession of the workbook right now, you can go to page 21. Page 21. We're going to start on page 21. What else? Let me get some more things. Again, I want to welcome everybody in to the Minor Adjustments Virtual Group. We meet here every Thursday at 7 p.m. There are a host of videos that let me actually give you also, so you don't have to look for it. I'm going to give you a link to the playlist of all the previous videos we have done thus far in the Minor Adjustments play YouTube page. I'm going to give that to you as well because there's a lot of videos that you can go back and watch, and I don't want you to miss anything. So I'm going to take my time and give you the playlist. Watch this. All right. And if you check out the playlist here, you'll be able to see previous lessons that we did. They're not that long. I want to thank everybody who's tuned in. We have a lot of people tuned in today. I really enjoy you. I appreciate your support. But let's go to work, all right? Remember, Minor Adjustments is dedicated to preventing and reducing crime. Our primary purpose is to teach men or women how to make the minor adjustments that are necessary in their lives, which will allow them to obtain and maintain a productive lifestyle after incarceration and or rehabilitation. Our motto is anywhere but backwards. That's a very important principle. So let's go into the workbook and let's see what we got here. So our first lesson we're going to go over this page. I'm not going to do I'm gonna do part one. Each section, thank you. Each section in the book has actually two parts. I'm going to actually go over the first part of this particular book. I'll go over that and we'll move on from there. The second part you can do on your own personal time. Is so each group that I have an expectation for each group. Today, I want my expectation will be that everyone will get down to the core. I'll explain it. Everybody will get down to the core. So it says there's a purpose in your past. In order for you to begin the process of allowing your past to push you into your destiny, you must first know that you still have a purpose for living despite all the bad choices and situations and negative things you have done in the past. So many people want their lives to have meaning. They want to do the right thing, but are often unsure what that is or entails. Do remember, you and I were created to do something extraordinary. You have a purpose. For those who have the particular workbook, the lesson is we're on page 21. The page 21. Page 21. All right. So listen, if you are or have the book in front of you. So you and I were created for a purpose. Remember, I says everybody will get down, everyone will get down to the core. If you take an apple, if you peel the skin of the apple, right? Let me move this down real quick. If you take an apple, if you take the skin of an apple, you take the skin, you go outside, you bury it in some good soil, a good fertilizer, right? You still won't produce the greatness that's in the apple. If you take the apple, peel the skin, cut through the pieces, you eat. If you take the pieces you can eat and try to bury it, again, you won't produce the greatness that's in the apple. If you take that same apple, peel the skin, cut through the pieces you can eat, you'll come across the part of the apple that's known to everyone as the core. When you break through the core, you get to that seed. The seed represents what's inside of you. But the only way you can get down to the seed, you'll have to break through the core of what you need to do to get to the seed. So likewise, in our recovery lives, right? In order for us to get the purpose or get to the seed of what we were created to do, we have to first break through the core of why we keep doing things that may end our lives. If the seed represents a purpose that you have in you, you have to break through the core of why would I put some drugs in my body, alcohol, pills, or whatever, that can possibly kill me and prevent me from getting to the greatness that I have inside of me. Remember right here, it says, read it. It says, do remember, you and I were created to do something extraordinary. You have a purpose. But in order for you to get to that purpose, you first must break through the core of why do I continue to put drugs in my body when I know that possibly I can overdose from the drugs I'm putting in the body. Let me use my own personal life as an example. The reason why I used to initially the reason why that when I got down to the core of why I was doing what I was doing, I initially started using drugs because a lot of the older people I was hanging with were doing it. So I would do it just because all of those people who were doing it, and then I was experimenting with it. And then I realized that I was an insecure man. When I was actively using something, I felt a little bit more confident. So I realized that my insecurity was actually one of the things that I had to break through in order to get to the next place of seeing who I was. So once I broke through the core and found out, like, wait a minute. I'm using drugs because I'm insecure, because I didn't want to. When I was on drugs, I was able to talk to women, I was able to socialize, I felt different. But when I went away, when the drugs went down, when I got sober, I didn't feel as confident as I did when I was on the substance. So I realized that my insecurity was one of the main reasons why I initially, yes, I got addicted to the drugs, but I'm talking about when the initial onslaught of me using the substances, it was because of insecurity. However, now I'm telling you that because you will have to get down to the core of why you're doing what you're doing. No matter if it's a substance or criminal lifestyle, there's always a bigger reason why you're doing it. So you want to get down to the core, whatever that core is. Now, this. I don't want this to shock you. When you get by yourself, it's the best time for you to think about the things you used to do or the reason behind why you do it. Because we're going to learn all of these weeks, we're going to go through the book and we're going to learn a lot of different things. Notice the word purpose means to set as an aim, an intention, or goal for oneself. The reason for which something exists. The reason for which something exists. So the question here, this book is powerful. It says, who are you? Now, this is not in your book, but look at it on the screen if you can see it. It says, normally other people tend to see your true potential before you see it. So the reason why that's important, the question of who are you, when you normally get the question of somebody asking you who you are, right? When you get that question of somebody asking who you are, you normally will get, or they will normally say to you, what they do. They'll normally start running through, well, I do this and I do this and I do this. But that's not actually who you are. That's what you do. So you got to understand this happens a lot when the question of who you are, most of the times, individuals in our lives will tell you who or your potential before you even realize what your potential is. And that's a powerful thing right there. Because when you have somebody with me, I often heard my parents tell me, you're going to relate to this. You often have individuals tell you, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be doing that. I know you're good at this and you're good at that. Watch this. They're not lying to you. They're telling you the truth. But normally other people see your potential before you see it. There are some people who are on this live right now. There are some people in this group right now that they're where your life is right now. It's going to get better. If you're at the beginning stages, middle stages, it's going to get better. However, some of you are at the place where you're starting to see what other individuals have been telling you for years. They've been telling you for years, or at least, thank you, Lord, they have been trying to tell you that you had so much potential. And a lot of individuals, I know you can testify to this one. There are a lot of individuals, when I was incarcerated or in a rehabilitation center, the individuals who were so gifted, I mean, this is including you. They are so gifted. They're able to fix stuff. They're able to create things out of nothing. They're able to do things. They're gifted and they're talented and they have so much potential, right? They never lost that potential. Watch this. Even though we were using substances and committing crime, the potential we have to do things, the talents and the gift still remain. Now, this is the funny part. We might have used those talents and gifts to get money to use drugs. But the talents and the gifts that we had still remain. It still remained. It did not go anywhere. And I'm telling you this because I want you to understand that other individuals will see your potential before you. Other people will see your potential before you. All right, let's move here. We got a good a lesson right here. We're doing well. Okay, what's your purpose? The next bullet says, what's your purpose? When you see these questions, if you have the book, if you do not have the book, please comment put it in the comment section or something, and I'll make sure I'll put the link into wherever you are. But the book, watch this. It says, what's your purpose? What's your purpose, right? You want to find out what's your purpose. The company Apple has a symbol, right? This is important. The company Apple came out with a new phone, but before Apple put their image on the phone, they made sure that everything the phone needed to be productive was already in the phone. They came out with a new watch, but before Apple put their image on the watch, they made sure that everything that the watch needed to succeed was already in the watch. Apple also came out with an iPad, but before Apple put their image on the iPad, they made sure that everything that iPad needed to be productive was already in the iPad. I said all that to say this. The Bible lets us know that God made us in his image, but before he put his image on us, he made sure that everything we needed to succeed was already in us. He made sure that everything that we needed to be successful was already in us. And he made sure that everything we needed to be productive was already in us. That's called an inside job. Everybody say it's an inside job. Woo, woo. It's an inside job. Yo, listen. What's your purpose? Your purpose has been placed in you. Remember, I used the analogy of our gifts, our talents, and our potential. Even though we were actively using drugs, what we were gifted to do, we may have used those gifts and talents to get money to buy drugs. But did you notice that the gifts and talents, no matter how many drugs we use, we still remain, the gifts and the talents and the potential still remain with us? That is not a coincidence. That's letting us know that God put that potential in you so you can use those things to put your life in a better situation. We simply just need, watch this word, to make some minor adjustments. You will never lose your gifts. You will never lose your talent. You will never lose that potential. What's your purpose? What's the purpose for you having those gifts, those talents, and that potential? That's what you have to find out. Remember, there's a purpose in your past. The reason why I'm telling you that is because I know without a shadow of a doubt, everything that I am currently doing in my life, which is aligned with the purpose that God has given me, it's my past that pushed me into it. Now, watch this. Thank you. Now that you know what your purpose is, and you're on the path, or you're just looking for discovering your purpose, watch this. The number one thing that you have to put in your spirit, your mind, your soul, your body, write it down or get a bracelet. You have to lock this down anywhere but backwards. That's the once you lock that down, everything's open for you. I literally tell somebody, or I tell individual clients or participants, that if you don't go backward, you have an open heaven. Let me put this in here. Let me share you where I got this from. Anywhere but backwards actually came from a Bible verse. If you Google it or look in the Bible later, the verse is Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 24. Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 24. And it says, yet they did not obey and incline their ear to me, but they followed the counsel of their own hearts, and they kept going backward instead of forward. And when I read that, the Lord spoke to me and said, anywhere but backward. Remember that, y'all. Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 24. That make that verse, even if you don't believe in the Bible, make that verse your life verse. It says, yet they did not obey and incline their ear to me. That means they did not listen to the advice or the leading of God. He says, but they followed the counsel of their own hearts and they went backward instead of forward. Listen to me. We can always tell if we're taking our own advice if we're going that way. Because I can guarantee you that the God we serve will never tell me to go back to do some more crack cocaine. If I go back to crack cocaine, it's because I followed my own advice. I don't know about you. I'm speaking for myself. But my motto is anywhere but backwards. Let's go to another page. I hope y'all getting something out of this. All right, let's see what we got. We got a lot of people tuned in today. I thank y'all for your attention. Are you aiming for anything of importance? This is a question. Are you aiming for anything of importance? I'm aiming to provoke you to change. I, myself, Michael Mickey Williams Jr., I can't make you change, but I have been gifted by God to at least provoke you to want to change. Only God can change a man or a woman. You, me, an individual, can only inspire you, provoke you, or push you to at least think about changing. But are you aiming for anything of importance? The reason why that question is there is because when you are dedicated, watch this, we are dedicated to anything that we consider to be important to us. If I know you know I'm not lying. Listen, whatever we consider to be important to us, we dedicate ourselves to it. So that's why the question says, are you aiming for anything important? If you have an aim for something, are you trying to successfully complete the program, get a part-time job, save your money, get your license back, get your health back in order, go to the dentist, anything? What are you aiming for? Are you aiming for anything? We need to know that. That's why one of the questions there, it says, are you aiming for anything of importance? Because whatever you're aiming for, whatever is important to you, you be dedicated to it. Okay, yeah, okay. Listen, okay. Listen to me. When we were actively out in the world doing what we used to do, if we woke up that morning and we was on what's called E, you know what being E is, we could be totally broke, meaning financially. And we know that it was very important for us to at least get off E. And in order for us to get off E, we had to aim for something. And whatever we aimed for to help us get off of E, we were dedicated to it. Nothing was going to stop us from obtaining something that we needed to get us off of E. That same tenacity, that same motivation, that same drive that we had during that time is inside of us. We just, watch this word, we just have to make some minor adjustments and use that same determination, that same drive to push us in our new life that we're now living. It's inside of you. You have it. I know you have it. Because you have the tenacity to get the things we needed when we were on E. That same drive. When my mentor told me that, he says, Michael, the same drive you had when you was in the streets, you still have the same passion and enthusiasm and drive this day. And he's not lying. I don't know if you notice it or not. I'm very passionate about what I'm doing right now on this video. I'm passionate about it is because I'm aiming to provoke people to at least think about changing the direction of their lives. And the reason, one of the main reasons that I want to try to push you to aim for something of importance is because I know without a shadow of a doubt where my life was 15 years ago to where God has it right now is not only my life he'll do it for, but it's available to you. But the key is, are you willing to go forward and not backward? That's the key. Let's go. Let's move. I hope y'all getting something out of this. I teach this for the last, I want to say 10 years. I've been teaching the same thing over and over and over again, and I still get something from it for myself. What's your intentions? What's your intention? These questions here is for you to write down. If someone's on here, if you're tuned in live and you're on here and you're not able to purchase the book, I can send you a digital PDF copy link to the book. Just let me know in the comment section, because I want people to have the content that we're going over. What's your intentions? You got to write down what's your intentions. Are you trying to graduate the program? Are you actively using and you need to go into a program? If you need to get into some type of treatment and you're watching this video, I'm a substance abuse counselor. I can connect you to different facilities. Once I find out what state you're in, I'll do the research for you. I'll find the closest place to you. I'll help you get in there. If you are in a relapse and you still need to get into some type of treatment, leave some type of comments. Reach out to me. You're on the live. Let me know. I'll do my best to connect you to certain places that are closer to you or best for you to go into. All right. Do you have a goal or a purpose? Do you have a goal or a purpose? Watch this. Purpose is the master of motivation and it's the mother of commitment. You got to have a goal or purpose. What's your goal? Do you have a purpose? Do you have a goal or purpose? Let me know. I want to know if you have a goal or purpose. All right. All right. All right, Lauren. Yeah. All right. Best life you can ever have. Are you aiming for anything? Do you have a goal? Purpose is the master of motivation and the mother of commitment. Look at this next one here. Where do you have to go and what do you have to do for your purpose to be reached? Where do you have to go? What do you have to do for your purpose to be reached? This is very important here, because once you know where you have to go, watch at the bottom here. You can write this stuff down if you don't have the book. To reach your purpose, you must ask yourself 3 questions. The first question is, what's my present situation? The next question is, what's my desired destination? And the third question is, what are the in-between steps? To reach your purpose, you must ask yourself 3 questions. Write these down. What's my present situation? What's my desired destination? And what are the in-between steps? The reason why you need to know these 3 things. What's your present situation? Watch this. Your present situation is real. But if you have a desired destination, you're going to you mark my present situation is I'm in a facility. At this facility. I'm in a halfway house. I'm home. I'm relapsed, but that's my present situation. Your desired destination is I want to complete this program successfully. I either want to stay, or I want to look for my own apartment or whatever. That's your desired destination, right? If you're currently in the relapse state, that's your present situation. Your desired destination is to go into a facility to get back into treatment, right? But the in-between steps, you got a desired destination, but you got things in between. So whatever the things in between that you need to do, reach out to somebody. If your desired destination is to own your own apartment, the in-between steps before you own your own apartment is getting a job and securing a savings account and save money. Do the research of where the best place for you to get an apartment. Do you need to relocate? Is it good for you to go back to the place where you used to be? So you got your present situation, you have your desired destination, and then you need to know what's all the things I need to do when I was in here. Let me use my own personal life. My present situation was I was in the Salvation Army. While I was in the Salvation Army, watch this, I was thinking about creating a program that will allow me to come back to prisons, back to Salvation Armies, and back to rehabilitation centers to help the people who are currently in the rehabilitation center. Watch this. My present situation was I was in program. My desired destination was I wanted to come back and create a curriculum to come back and teach people. Watch this. Notice I thought about my desired destination while I was in the Salvation Army. But the steps in between was very important. I knew my present situation. I knew my desired destination was to create a program, the program that we're doing right now. But the in-between steps was a lot of work. I had to first remain sober. I had to first not commit more crimes. I had to first change my environment or the connection of people that I was with. So those are the in-between steps. When you take first, I'm not going back to what I used to do. That's the number one goal. Everything else, you got to figure out what's the in-between steps. It depends on what your destination is. I can educate you, or I can supervise you or mentor you in certain areas. Do you want to start a business? I can help with things like that. Do you need a recovery coach? Do you need a life skill coach? Do you need somebody that will be your spiritual advisor? I can help with all those things. We just need to make the connection. All right, let's see what else we got. This is good stuff here. Let's go to another page. It says, no matter what anyone says to you, or no matter how you look at it, the fact remains that you have a purpose for this world and you have a reason for living. Telling yourself that you have a purpose, even though your present situation may leave you feeling broken inside. However, this is a great place for you to begin. Start by encouraging yourself. Stop waiting on others. Tell yourself, I have a purpose. Everybody tap yourself on the chest and say, I have a purpose. 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 I tell myself that every day. I just posted that on my social media page because I tell myself this all the time, that my purpose is greater than my struggles. That's one of the books I wrote. It's called My Purpose is Greater Than My Struggle. Man, listen to me. I have a purpose. You have to tell yourself that. You're going to have bad days. Listen to me. I don't want to pull out a red carpet and tell you that when you leave the facility or during the course of your journey in a facility that things are just going to go your way. No, some things won't go your way to stir you up to see, are you standing on a solid foundation? Things are not going to always go your way, but no matter if you're having a good day, a bad day, or so-so day, remind yourself of this. You have a purpose. I know that you have a purpose for living because you did a lot of things that other individuals have done, and they have moved on and have died, but you have survived. The reason why you survive, I cannot speak for them. I can only speak for the living. The reason why you have survived is because I know that you have a purpose, and it is your job to match that purpose up to the will of God and just walk in that purpose that he has for you. Remember, tap yourself on the chest, no matter how bad it might be. Remind yourself you have a purpose. You might be in a situation where you may have done things that you broke up the relationship with your children or your spouse or your employer. I don't understand. I don't know who it might be. And you might feel bad about those things that you have done now that you are not under the influence of anything. I can relate to that. I understand. I have compassion for you. I have empathy for you. I know that. But you have to learn how to encourage. Start by encouraging yourself. Stop waiting on others. Tell yourself, I have a purpose. Every day you have to tell yourself that. And even if you're faced with some difficulties, I understand there's going to be challenges. They're going to have people. You're going to have people, family, friends, in-laws. You're going to have a host of people who don't even know you that are not going to believe in you because of the life you used to live. That does not neglect the purpose that you have for living. Remember, encourage yourself. You have a purpose. Let's move on. David, in the Bible, it says David, I love this, David was greatly distressed, but David encouraged and strengthened himself. If you want to know what some of these scriptures are, in the back of the book, it should be like a reference page. If you match up the page with that, you'll find out where that is for all my faith-based individuals. David was greatly distressed, but David encouraged and strengthened himself. See, certain things that I read, I apply. That's why I put it in the book, because I do that to myself. I encourage myself. I don't know why I'm sticking on this, because some of y'all might be going through a difficult time and you might have a bad day. Up until this moment that you got onto this video, I am praying for you, and I'm praying that your day is going to no longer be that way tomorrow. Today's day is not going to be like this tomorrow. Today, encourage yourself. Go get you a cup of tea, or a cup of coffee, or a glass of water. Just tap yourself on the chest and say, I have a purpose. I'm sorry you went through whatever you went through. I don't even know who I'm talking to, but I'm just here to encourage you and let you know that you have a purpose. And the reason why you went through what you're going through is just going to stir up some stuff in you. And the fact that you did not use feeling how you felt is showing you that you have grown from the last time you tried to get your sobriety. Before, when you felt how you felt, you went back to what you used to do. But today, you made it through the day, and I'm letting you know that that is showing a sign that you have grown. I hope that encouraged you. Let's look more to what we got. All right. Success, thoughts for the day. Success isn't always going to be a huge contract. You can be successful if you just live out your purpose in life. Most people don't live out their purpose because of pressure, but pressure produces what's in you. Remember, I just mentioned that when I thought about pipe, I was in the basement, or I was somewhere and I was working and the pipes bust, and I saw all this water coming out the pipes, and then it dawned on me. I said, dag, pressure bust pipes. But the only thing that comes out of the pipes when they bust is whatever's inside of the pipes. It's not like the pressure bust the pipes and something else came out of the pipes. It wasn't like the pipes bust and orange juice came out. What was in the pipes, when the pipes bust, that's what came out. I said all that to say this. When you feel yourself under pressure and it seems like you're under all this pressure, if you have made some minor adjustments on the inside, the only thing that's going to come out is whatever you have in you. So pressure should not push you back to the drugs and alcohol and criminal lifestyle that you used to do. From this point forward, if you're feeding yourself new information, new life skills, new relapse prevention skills, or minor adjustments, when the pressure comes, you're not going to resort to what you used to do. You're going to, when the pressure comes, it's going to bring out what's in you, which is going to be, watch these words, the new you. Remember this right here. It's always you versus you. The new you has to introduce themselves to the old you. So when the pressure comes, the old you usually tell you, let's go get some. But the new you need to tell the old you, I don't do that anymore. I made some minor adjustments and I'm not going backward anywhere but backwards. Oh man, I hope y'all got something out of that. This is part 2 of There's a Purpose in Your Past. I'm not going to go over that. If you have the book, that is for your homework assignment. Go through chapter 2, do it, and then by next week, we'll move into another part of the workbook. I hope you got something out of today. I try my best to try to encourage any individuals who want to make minor adjustments. Our motto is anywhere but backwards. Minor adjustments is dedicated to preventing and reducing crime. Our primary purpose is to teach men and women how to make the minor adjustments that are necessary for their lives. And it is your job to focus on going anywhere but backwards. Again, it was just a short video to encourage you. Go through the workbook all the way up until the second part of purpose. Next week, we'll go into surrendering, the key to victory. Please do the second part. Meditate on everything you have been reading. Revisit it later on when you answering in those bullets. Revisit it later on and watch how your mind may have changed or things may have become different. Make sure that you pay attention to all the structure and the discipline that you have in the facilities that you might be a part of. The discipline and the structure you have in the facilities need to be used. You need to use it to help in your development, because the things outside of the facility is going to try to make you go back to what you used to do. But we know our motto is anywhere but backwards. To God be the glory. Have a great day, the rest of your evening. Thank you.